Here we go. Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy Bob Rock, and welcome to another episode of the B Rock RC Show, a live podcast for the drifters by a drifter. Welcome once again. I know it's been a while, it's been a minute, but we are back. We are back at it, and welcome. So, I know usually I have a podcast every Monday, but I'm just trying to take it easy now and do it a little bit more than often. Look, I know lighting is an issue here, but I'm getting myself organized once again, trying to recover from all of the losses and everything. But I didn't want to let it stop doing what I'm doing. So I know a lot of you guys have been missing it. So yeah, we're back. Hey, what's up, Martin? How you doing, my man? Thanks so much for joining in. Really appreciate it. Um, if you could do me one favor, bro, I would really love if you could please share the live so that people can get notified that the that the podcast is live. So I'm trying to do that. Mm, let's see. I don't think I can do it by myself. Let me see. Nope. Okay, let me try and do it from here rather. And let's go. Oh, just give me a second, bro. I'm just gonna log in and share my. Hopefully that works. No, didn't. Okay, so let me do it this way. Sorry, it's just gonna take a second. La, 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 la. So otherwise, how you doing, bro? How's things on your side of the world? Let's say all good in the hood. Thanks. Awesome, man. Happy to hear that, bro. Happy to hear that. And like I said, thank you once again for joining in, man. It's much appreciated. Um, and I'm hoping that I can, I can keep this thing going some more. And I can only keep it going if, well, I mean, I can still keep it going, but it'd be nice to interact with everybody once again. On YouTube, I'm gonna, I think I have to, I think I'm gonna have to open a Discord channel for this. That's what I think. Otherwise, getting people to come in here, it's gonna be a mission because I lost control of my regular Facebook page, and so it's been really difficult to manage things again. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, that's that. Right. So look, I know we're not going to get a lot of viewers straight away. However, we'll keep the chat going, and since you are here, well, we'll chat to you. So, yeah, the YT2 is going well. This weekend's comp was lekker. Just need to get my shivering hand sorted. So, yeah, about that shivering hand, it never really goes away. You only learn to sort of deal with it. And the only way of dealing with it is to actually put yourself in that situation more. And specifically with RC drifting, you got to put yourself on that driver's stand where all eyes on you, everything's quiet, and everybody's looking at how you are drifting. So you got to compete more in order to overcome that those nerves. But like I said, you never really overcome it. You just learn how to control it. So but you'll get there. Don't worry. Just keep at it. And I'm so happy to hear that you things are going well with your YD too, man. Just keep it up. Keep it up. So on this week's episode, we've got just a couple of things that I wanted to chat about. Firstly, I gotta give a, a big shout out to all of the RC drifters out there in the UK, and well done on all the track owners for coming together and getting and organizing the RC Drift UK Championship. I know they launched the championship at in Birmingham at the Autosport International Show, and from what I could see, from what I could tell, it went really, really well. So well done to you guys, and big up to you. I hope that you guys will get bigger and bigger, and that the RC Drift UK Championship is going to be absolutely massive. It definitely looks the part, and uh, knowing some of the guys behind the scenes there, some of the organizers, knowing them, how they put things together, the the tracks that the guys are going to be drifting on is absolutely magnificent. Beautiful surface, beautiful track to look at, to even drift on, and we know that they have quality judges there, quality drivers there. It's going to be really, really cool to see. And I hope you guys will put out more media so that, and also live streams so that the rest of us can enjoy it. Uh, and yeah, it's going to be really, really cool. UK scene is popping. So awesome to see. Yeah, absolutely, Rob. I totally, totally agree. The UK scene is really, really coming together quite nicely now, and very, very happy and proud of the guys out there. Considering at one stage that the scene was like going down so badly there, and right to the point where tracks were closing down, and it's nice to see that the guys rallied up and got together to save the track and uh, revive the scene there, revive the love for RC drifting. So really, really well done. Uh, and of course, one of the next big things that hit the scene recently, and towards I think the end of last year, yes, towards the end of last year, where RCDC in Japan, and I'm sure everybody by now knows RCDC. So they introduced a very, very interesting looking drift tire, which is the buzz brake tires. I think it's made by Driftstar or something to that effect. The beautiful looking threaded drift tires. Haven't had the chance to get my hands on a set, obviously, because at the time it was only available to the Japanese market, and more specifically aimed at the it was used as the control type for the RCDC championship, I think the finals. Now, what has happened is that the guys out in the UK, I believe, have managed to get their hands on bus brake tires, which is pretty cool. And they started using that as the control tire. So really well done. You guys got to let us know what the tire is like. How's it driving? Is it how much better or how much worse, or is it on the same level as, like, for example, the Yoko tires, or maybe the new Rev D tires? Or I know in the UK most of the guys you guys use MST Silver Dots. So how does it compare to that? I'd uh, love to know your comments on that. Um, And with that, we gotta ask: is that going to be the new trend? Is it as good as it looks, or is it simply just the flavor of the month? Because we've seen in recent times that we've had these products come in and then be hyped up, and then it's released to the public, then it gets used, and we don't see a really massive, how can I put it, like an incredibly massive jump in performance. But even though it's a good product, so you gotta ask the question whether uh, is it really about the product? Is it really the product? Is it a performance enhancing product, or is it like a nice to have? Hence, I say like a flavor of the month. So we got to start asking these questions. And yes, by all means, we got to support these manufacturers who are putting in the time and effort, the money, the R&D into bringing us these new products, which is what we need in the hobby, uh, without a doubt. However, we we have to question the product itself as well, because there's no point in you bringing out a product, but it's horrible quality, and all it is that it's shifting performance from one product to another, if you get what I'm saying. So instead of really enhancing a specific part to increase performance, all we're doing is we just repackaging it, if you understand. So, when choosing new products to use and when going after products to use now, I feel like we are between collecting and a nice to have and actual increase in performance. So before you go out and buy these products, when you see something new released by Overdose or Yokomo or Revdi or MST or Sakura, so you gotta ask, especially for some of us who are a little bit tight on a budget, we gotta ask, do you really need it? Are the current products that you're using giving you the performance that you need? If not, have you actually explored getting the maximum out of those products? And if you've answered no, you haven't, then surely it stands to reason that you need to explore that first before getting to a point where you're saying, okay, now I need this part because it's definitely going to enhance my tune, my drive. It's going to give me that extra bit of performance that I'm looking for that I can't currently get. Now, there's other situations where, like with Overdose, we already know that an extreme amount of R&D has gone into uh, those products, especially with the testing as well. They do extensive research and development and testing. So when they do release a product, you know that it's definitely performance enhancing. Obviously, at the same time, they've got the nice to haves and the looking nice products that just some bling to add. But most of it, I think we know from the overdoses that it's all good. Similar with Revdi, similar with the Yokomo. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Overdose, we know those are more collectors' items than anything else. But yeah, okay. So we have another comment here by Rob. Tire compounds ain't really on a scale of good and bad. Every track we've set up required a test of all tires available to find the best tire to surface performance, making sure not too grippy. Yes. And actually, that's a very good point which I failed to mention. Thanks, Rob. Um, every track does drive different, even if it's P-tile. It may drive similar, but it may doesn't always drive the same. We've had the same situation here where we've tried different compounds of tires on our surfaces, and we found that a certain tire actually worked the best. And whilst it may not have been the most popular globally or all over the place, yeah, we did find that we had to test tires. Let's see, side bite needs to be on point two. Tire torque is always a preference to the pace you want to have on the track. Yes, agreed. And with that, we should also add that we shouldn't rely heavily on tire compound. And I think I've mentioned this many times where here in SA, at one point, we were using the tire compound as almost a crutch to get more speed and stuff like that. So we made a decision to scrap that and force drivers to focus on tuning the car for the surface. So tuning for more speed, tuning for less speed, tuning for side grip, for exit speed, for control, all of these things. And I must admit, for us here in South Africa, we it worked out fantastic. So whilst we're at it, I just want to give a huge shout out, a huge welcome to all the new viewers who have joined in or who are not live at the moment. It's totally cool. You stopped by. I can see it. Thank you very much for coming through, and welcome to another episode of the B-Rock RC Show, season 5. Season 5, guys, episode 2, a live podcast for the drifters by a drifter. Thank you for joining in for so many seasons and for coming back. Uh, you guys give me the motivation to keep this going. So over the past few weeks, I've had some really good chats with a few close buddies of mine who's reminded me not to give up. So yeah, that's why we're still keeping it going. Okay, Rob says, in the same, it doesn't allow valid tires at our track. I'd, sorry, I'd not allow Valeno tires at our track cause too much grip. Yet for a new driver who's shopping with deep pockets, they will see overdose as a tire. It must be the best. Yes, that's another very good point. I think for some of the new drivers, for the new guys coming into the hobby who've been told things like overdose is amongst the apex of RC, and it's really good, but they haven't quite been given the correct info. It's not entirely wrong, but it's not entirely correct. Yes, overdose is at the top. However, it's not the be all and end all. And like for something specific like tires, the overdose tire may not be the best for your specific track. So you gotta keep that in mind. Also, guys, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and turn on your notifications for my channel so that you'll always be notified once the podcast goes live, or if I happen to drop a video, at least you guys will be notified. So the tire conversation can go on and on. Let's see. Rob says, be cool to see a regulated FDR on one night a week at the track and see how the drivers line up side by side. I think that would be a very interesting idea. And perhaps in competitions, there's there's a chance that that could become a thing because we've already seen restrictions in weight, we've seen or we have restrictions in motors, we have restrictions on tires. Well, obviously, because we've got a control tire. Then we've seen restrictions on body width, maybe length as well, and maybe height in terms of the wing. And perhaps, yes, perhaps FDR might become one of the uh, limiting regulations. So I think in order for us to gauge that, we'd obviously have to run a few comps and introduce that as a regulating factor and test it out and see how it works. Does it actually work? Would it be would it be something that's gonna sort of level out the playing field, or is it gonna give some people the edge, or how is it gonna react? So once we're on that topic, and I think it's a fantastic topic to talk about, let's expand on it a little bit more. Let's see, we will still see wheel poke regulations in comps. Emin was no more than 2 mils out in the body. Certainly in my opinion, but I get it. Um, okay, I want to revisit that, but I want to talk about the regulated FTR. For me, it's a little bit more interesting than the wheel poke, but we're gonna put a pin on that. We're gonna come back to that. So. Yeah, so introducing a regulated FDR, how do we see this working out for drivers? So, what would be the intention behind it? Would we then see um, a more level playing field in terms of the drivers? Would we then see an increase in driver skill because of the regulated FDR? That is where I'm leaning towards. If we regulate the FDR, we now closing the gap um, on people with deeper pockets who have better equipment and who can afford the better electronics, and there's nothing wrong with that. Um, would we then see a greater focus on driver skill, where you where we're forcing drivers now to really focus on the finger, the throttle control, the steering control, where we're planting the car. And then in turn, also we'll see drivers focusing more on the tuning side, the mechanical tuning, not necessarily the electronic tuning, but the mechanical tuning, then really focusing on the build and how the camber and the Ackerman, your dampers, your spring rates, your all of those things, how are they now working in unison to give you a much to give you the maximum out of your chassis? Could that be the next big thing? Let's see, I digress. FDR regs would set a level playing field for comms. That'd be fun to see and hear. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If we introduce the regulated FDR, then we have everybody on a similar playing field. And again, like I said, the increase and focus on driver skill is going to increase. Then it's going to force people to really dive deep into the chassis. And I'm sure we'll then be seeing a much uh, tighter battles, a greater skill level amongst all the drivers. At the same time, so look, that's all on the good side, of course. Um, but on the downside, we gotta look at the guys, especially the new guys coming in. How are they gonna take to this regulated FDR? Will it be easier for them to come into the hobby or not? There's so many variables there, because then we got to look at, okay, this is just a comp setting, so new guys won't necessarily enter comp straight away. It's going to be guys who have a little bit more driving experience that's going to enter comps, and we want to level the playing field, etc., etc. So at the and then looking at that same point from the other side, sometimes it's easier coming from no experience into a situation where you have regulated FDRs, all these regulations in place. There's a chance that it's easier to transition into that, to learn all these things here, than for guys who are already experienced trying to now transition into this here. So, it could work well, it could work badly. It just depends, I suppose. Um, let's see, Rob says FTR rigs would set a level playing field for comps. Oh yeah, we already mentioned that. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really, really interesting if that was a thing. If that was a thing. And just to add to that, um, I'm sure a lot of people would fuss and moan that, oh no, why are we introducing these FDR regulations or any regulations for that matter? It's going to make things so difficult, and then you try on this new regulation and you drive your car and it just drives horribly and you don't like it and you just totally against it. Now here's a big talking point. Change can sometimes be for the good. So in order to become a better driver, you got to put yourself in an uncomfortable position so that it starts uh, forcing you to think beyond what you were used to. So you got to start thinking a little bit out of the box now. You got to start getting with the program and upskilling yourself. And then you'll be surprised at how well you do if you simply just apply yourself. So take yourself out of that comfort zone, put yourself in an uncomfortable position with the mindset that I'm going to get this right, and look at how you will uh, I don't want to say blossom, but look at how much better you will become if you do that. So remember that sometimes, and even in life, if you if you forget that you are in a comfortable position, and when something comes along uh, that's adverse to that, you find yourself struggling now because you've been comfortable for so long. So sometimes you got to draw yourself into the uncomfortable position so that you can become stronger, become better, become more wiser. Similar with RC drifting. So thank you for that, Rob. That was really, really cool. You brought up an awesome topic, and I appreciate it. There was something else which I said we're going to get back to. Um, oh yes, it was the poke regulations, the wheel poke regulations. So at Eman at the 2019 World Champs, there was a rule made that no, the wheels cannot protrude more than 2 mils out of the body, and I believe that was on the top. So that would be near the top of the fender. Your tires couldn't protrude more than 2 mils. So honestly, I don't know why that regulation is there or was there. I I don't know the purpose of that regulation. I wish I did. Maybe it had something to do with the front track wood being too wide. Look, I don't know. I'm not sure. The thing about this regulation though, was that it was very easy to get over. And I'll bring you an example. Hayato was actually a good example for this. Okay, Rob says to reduce damage, but that kind of doesn't make sense really, because even if you're not 2 mils more than the body, you can still get right up against your opponent and create swirls of doom on the side of the body. You know what I mean? So, well, look, maybe I'll chat to some guys some more and see what I can find out. Sounds like a rule Timo would make up. Um, yeah, man. So I was saying, like, that rule was very easy to overcome because Hayato all he did was, I think he had a bit of Lexan or something, and he just made a little over fender, stuck it over the fender, and boom, done. So that kind of eliminated that whole 2 mil rule because it was so easy to overcome. So if anything, if you want to make it a rule like that, rather make your body width has to be a maximum of X amount, and it can't be wider than that. Whether it's a tire, whether it's the fender, nothing. That's the maximum width you can go, and that's it. So maybe perhaps that would have been a better rule and would have eliminated that loophole for the wheel poke. So let's see what happens afterwards. Duct tape fender, I believe that was. Yeah, see, there you go. Imagine that duct tape. Just the, take a few pieces of duct tape, stick it together to start forming a fender, and then slap it on the body. Boom, done. So look how simple it was to overcome that rule. Um, FPS, what's up, man? Thanks so much for joining in, brother. Really, really appreciate it. Love your content. Been watching your videos as well. Thanks so much for joining in, bro. Really, really appreciate it. For the guys that just joined in, welcome to another episode of the B-Rock RC Show, a live podcast for the drifters by a drifter. We are on season 5, episode 2. Season 5. Let me just check my notes again. Yep, just making sure didn't skip a season. Yeah, season 5. Which reminds me, I actually need to put season 4. I need to upload season 4 to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Casts and all of those stuff there. So yeah, I do need to get on that. So the next big thing I wanted to talk about was or is rather um, so Baula, if you guys, I'm sure you guys already know, the main guy behind the fantasy chassis, recently posted up pictures of a new damper that he's been developing. Now, the style of damper is not new. So what he's done was create a new, or he rather his version of an adjustable damper. Hey, what's up? What's up, Masio? How you doing, my man? Thank you for joining in. Appreciate it. FPS, you guys managed to test out the buzz brake tire yet? No, unfortunately, we haven't been able to get our hands on the buzz brake tire as yet. I haven't put in any orders for the tire, which um, I actually should. I'm just not sure where I can buy it from, whether the UK or whether any other people, any other shops have it. I'll check it out. Maybe I'll check out Aspo or something. Uh, yeah, maybe I'll message Dale or something. I don't know. I'll check who has a set and let's get it shipped on and try it out. Yeah, so like I said, Baula, who's the main guy behind Fantasy, he's been developing his own version of adjustable dampers. So I was very interested in seeing his version, which was I thought was very cool. Um, and perhaps I got a little bit excited for no reason. So I know that these adjustable dampers have existed before, and I know about the Year Racing and who else? Geez. And HRC have the nerd dampers. Uh, and then I believe Hoodie X-Ray has done a few as well. They've been around, so the technology itself has been around for quite a while. But this is his iteration of adjustable dampers, which is I think was quite nice because the actual adjustment was quite sturdy. It looked quite solid. It didn't look as though it didn't look flimsy at all, which I appreciated. So the Year Racing one is susceptible to slipping or damaged just simply by the way it's designed. And although it kind of worked a little. I can't say that I've been a big fan of it though. But the Baola adjustable ones look really, really solid. So I'm interested to seeing the actual performance, so the actual shakedown of it. It's going to be really, really cool. Uh, let's see what else. Oh, yes, yes, something very interesting. Uh, I always try and bring you guys new products that's been launched or being launched, and I'm sorry that I don't have the images and the footage for you guys. I'm still busy faffing around with the OBS. It's updated and I lost all my settings, so I gotta go back and resolve that. But I'll get on it. So yeah, I wanted to tell you guys about this new conversion kit for the RDX, which looks uh, I don't know how I feel about it because it actually looks like a milk box carton if I had to describe it. And that's the picture you have in your mind, uh, an orange juice bottle or milk box carton. That's ex the image you have in your mind is exactly how it looks. It's literally like a box, like a metal box. Um, the I don't have a lot of info about it, but I know that it's made by Hixma from the uh, I'm not sure how that name is pronounced. So sorry, Hixmar. Apologies if I butchered the name, from a Shinfu factory, and it's a box type FRP conversion kit for the RDX, which looks really strange. Like I said, it looks like a milk box, a milk carton box. It's so strange. So and that's a lot of metal or aluminum or thin steel sheets. It's a lot of weight there because you still need to add obviously all your electronics in there. So I can't imagine that thing being light. Let's see. Rob says Bauer's design being all internal piston to shaft combo, all closing off at the bottom of the board is brilliant. We won't see leaks like we do in Nerds Hydronym. Yeah, like I said, I'm also very, very interested to seeing them, and I wonder if he's gonna make them available separately, or is it gonna come as part of a kit? Unlike the nerds where you have to, it's literally only the pieces, only the parts to convert your existing damper. So here we're going to see a complete damper, which is also quite interesting. Um, yeah, so this box type FER conversion kit, it's also made in conjunction with the Kamikaze factory. Now look, we know Kamikaze uh, does some really nice stuff. We know they work, they're quite established. So it'll be quite interesting to see more of them. To be honest, I don't think it's gonna be popular um, for two reasons, and this is just my opinion, right? The first reason it's not going to be popular is because of the weight. I genuinely think it's going to be a lot heavier than people expected. And my second reason why I don't think it's gonna be popular is because it's ugly. I always try to see the positive in things. I try to see the best in everything, and I yeah, I see Cybertruck. Yeah, that's good. I see that conversion kit on FV2. Thought it was a joke. Yeah, man, it's crazy that thing. Um, so yeah, for those two reasons, I don't think it's going to be popular. And again, like I said, even though I try to see the best in all products that come through, and I try to give a positive review or positive feedback on it, this is one that I just don't think it's going to be popular. I think it's going to be one of those nice to haves, those those little eclectic collections, those eclectic things in your collection to say, you know what, I have this, but I don't think it's going to be as popular as they expect it to be. Um, yeah, it's gonna definitely appeal to only a small crowd, but yeah, well, uh, I will be the first to admit, if it becomes popular, I will come back here and I will apologize and I will admit I was wrong. But for now, yeah, we'll just wait and see. For their sake, I do hope that it's a success. I know that they put in effort and time and stuff into it, but let's see what happens. Um, and the last thing I wanted to bring up in terms of new products was this amazing 2 and 3 uh, car stand. Um, Again, I'm actually a little bit annoyed that I can't show you pictures, but uh, I've seen this a post on my timeline about this RC kit stand, and I think I've shared it on my profile as well, my Facebook profile. It's made by Coswork or Cosworks. No, sorry, Coswork, and they are based in Taiwan. So at first I thought it was just that individual that developed this RC kit stand, which is it's almost like a cantilever stand. So it has a leg, so it's like a C shape. So it has a leg with an arm and an additional sort of cantilevered piece that you can place your car on like this here. So and it has 3 levels. So you can put one car here, and then obviously, the leg is here. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Um, so like I said, I thought it was just that individual who created this product. Very, very interesting. And then I happened to see a name on the carry bag of that. So it's Sid Coswork, and obviously I had to Google it. So that led me to the website, and I was amazed to see that not only do they have this car stand, but they had a whole range of products. So we're talking RC bags, put bags, tools, maintenance tools. They also do some spares for some of the brands like Tamiya and Yokomo. They also have some oils and greases. And I thought what was very interesting, and this is going to be something that you guys should look into. They produce ceramic ball bearings as a little kit which you can buy and you can use. So I thought that was amazing. Should be easy enough to 3D print something like that. Yes, definitely, no doubt, you can definitely create something like that. However, this looks a lot more sturdy because not only did it take the 1 in 10 cars, it took the 1 in 10 trucks, the crawlers, even the 1 in 8 cars, the T-Max, the Traxxas, and all of those other stuff there. So it's very, very cool. Um, so not only do they do all of these products, they also have a CNC facility available. So if you happen to have a design that you want produced, they are the guys to see, which and they will assist with getting your product developed and produced. So costwork.com, you guys should check it out. I do believe they have distributors out in Europe and the US, so it's very, very cool. What's up, Christopher? How you doing, my man? Thank you so much for joining in. Really, really appreciate it, brother. And welcome to another episode of the B Rock RC Show. Of course, you know me. I'm your host with the most, the B Rock. And this is another episode from season 5, episode 2. Let's see. Have you ever dabbled into any other RC stuff? I'll be honest, no, I haven't. Um, I don't intend on really dabbling in anything just yet. Uh, it's because I have so much that I still want to do in RC drifting. I feel out that out of all of the disciplines of RC out there, RC drifting still is highly underrated in comparison to the other RC disciplines. And it's for that reason that I still wanna, I still have so much more I would like to do in RC drifting. I have so much ideas that I have jotted down and thought of that I would like to implement. And I'm hoping that this year would be the start of it, of more of those stuff. So one of the things that I wanted to do, obviously, was this podcast, which I've got going, but I'd like to make it a little bit better. Uh, just just present it a little bit better, you know. I have, uh, and like, there's just three things I really want to add to the podcast. So besides the frame and OBS and everything, because I got that, I can sort that out. But the three things I really want to do is one, get a better camera. Two, get better lighting. And three, get a proper mic. And that's it. Just those three things I want to do, and that's going to help me improve my whole podcast. It is a bit of a mission because I was on like two of the three things, and I know I keep repeating it, but yeah, that's how badly the break-in set me back. Stealing my PC, my cameras, lights, all of that stuff. But I'll get there hopefully before the end of the year. Um, yeah, and like I said, for that reason, that's why I don't want to dabble into any other uh, discipline of RC just yet. What about you guys? Have you guys been dabbling in other RCs? It'll be interesting to see. Um, so yeah, guys, it's been cool. Uh, it's been awesome chatting with you guys again. I tell you, I really miss doing the my podcast every Monday. So I'm gonna try and keep it going for every Monday. However, please, this is gonna be the new home of my podcast. So I'd really, really appreciate it if you guys do two things for me, two favors. One is to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for my YouTube channel so you guys will always be notified. And also, when you come onto the podcast, please share the podcast. You still have the Razer Kio camera, bro. You know what? I'm so sorry, but I don't. That camera was stolen together with my PC when the guys broke into my home and cleared me out of everything. Um, my PC, the cameras, they took the keyboard, the mouse, everything. They grabbed some of my son's shoes, some of his clothes. They grabbed our phones. Had a My daughter had a tablet. Grabbed the tablet. They got into my room. They stole all of my shoes, stole my wife's purses, some of her clothes, all her shoes. Um, yeah, let's see what else. Yeah, this, and we had a bit of savings kept safely. They took that. So it's been rough trying to replace everything. So what we did was we replaced the necessities first. And now I'm slowly replacing one thing at a time as I can afford. So yeah, but look, we here. I'm here, still doing the podcast, still keeping it going, and yeah, I'll do my best to keep it going every week. And I can only do that if because of you guys who constantly support me and have been supporting me for the last 4 seasons. So thank you very much to all of you for that. Really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, I think that will be all for today's episode of the B Rock RC show. Thank you once again to everybody for joining in today's episode. You guys are awesome. You're the real MVPs. Keep drifting fun, keep drifting, keep the hobby alive, keep visiting your local drift tracks. Don't let it die down. And I will do my best to see you guys next week, same time, same place, right here on YouTube. Thank you once again, and you guys have an awesome, awesome week ahead. Peace.